Your thoughts on the way Jokic plays the game?
Have you been in these sessions before? I've said this like 10 times, and I'm not writing your article for you. Ask one of your colleagues. He's magnificent. Magnificent. I'll just leave it at that.
Here it goes. All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into the DNBA live show presented by Manscaped.
Your balls will thank you.
Your balls will thank you, absolutely. I am your host, Adam Mattis from DNVR. I'm joined by my esteemed colleague, Eric. You know him as D-Line Co.
Hey, guys. What's going on? Let's go. Let's go.
Is this Monday? What's going on? I'm going to smack you all.
Usually you give me a little bit more to work with. I like respond to. I'm not a self-starter, Adam. I need something to respond to.
You're an assist guy. I said that. Seated right to the right of him, the man who has brought hurricane force winds to Colorado. It's Harrison Wynn.
So Father's Day in 2 weeks. If you're getting your dad Manscaped, I don't know if you want to like be in the room when you hand him that gift. Like maybe it's a type of gift you mail, but I don't know. It could be a good idea.
Just anonymously mail to your dad Manscaped?
No, just like
Happy Father's Day. I wonder who it came from. Could it
you,
be
you can tell him it's from you, but just like I don't know. I wouldn't want to be in the room if I'm giving that to him.
Well, all right. So very, very interesting. The man.
Maybe just not when he's using it.
Well, the man who is celebrating summer through the expression of fashion. It's Brandon Vogt.
Quick question for Harrison. Did you just go golfing today or just feeling the Puma polo here?
No, I'm on an MPJ vibe right now. Me and MPJ, Puma gang.
I was going to say, you look a lot like him.
I'm predicting an MVP quality performance from Harrison Wynn tonight.
Me too.
It's going to be MVP quality. And then, of course, our old friend from NOLA.com and the New Orleans Advocate, covering the Pelicans like nobody else, it's Christian Clark. Christian, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I'm always happy to see you when Vogt is out here wearing the floral print shirts. That's how I know it's summer.
Let's go, baby.
Or any other day of the year.
Day ending in Y. The floral print, you really do own that one. So first of all, Christian, man, it's great to have you on. I love the library look that you have there. Have you read all of the books behind you?
No, I think my dad keeps like encyclopedias and stuff. I don't know. He's a pretty big nerd in the best way possible. But no, I haven't. He has like those Robert Caro books about Lyndon B. Johnson. I haven't read any of those.
You could have just said yes, and we'd have been like, wow. And then moved on.
Impressive, Christian Clark. No, but seriously though, what percentage of books that you guys have at your own personal bookshelves have you actually read in their entirety? I would give myself like 20%.
Yep.
If that, man, if that.
Yeah.
Well, I've read 20% of 90% of the books I own.
Oh, that's got to be worth something.
That's.
I'm just
like
never
a math
going to finish
equation.
them.
No, we're excited to have Harrison on. Obviously, we're going to talk about some New Orleans.
I'm
Pelicans
very, very
stuff.
excited to be on. Thank you.
I mean, Christian. Oh man, our Monday shows are always great. We're going to talk some New Orleans in segment 2. In segment 3, we're going to play the game that's soon to be sweeping America. I can't wait.
Baby. I cannot wait.
It is Rate the Spice. You guys are not ready for Rate the Spice. I'm telling you right now, it's the best way to kickstart your Monday. But before we get there, guys, when I could see Harrison actually throwing on the Puma polo every time he plays WGT. That's like a Harrison move. He's get the glove. You put the one glove on. Like, all right,
Yeah.
let's go.
I mean, Harrison, do you have a visor?
Oh, I wish. If I had a visor, I'd put it on right now.
I mean, I drink a tall boy every time I play, just like when I play regular golf. So what's the
If I had one of Eric's like Kangol caps, I'd throw one of those on too.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll get you one. No problem.
I'm trying to talk Brandon in because my big thing for Father's Day, I've already talked with my wife. I already know what we're doing. I want to get golf clubs, and I'm trying to talk Brandon Spano into doing a whole like golf, like video me as I learn golf over the summer and make like a little series. I think it would be fun.
I feel like this is an idea that sounds really good, and then your third week in, you're like, "What are we doing here?"
Well, maybe it would only be 3 weeks. This isn't going to be a complete like series where it takes time. It's just anytime I go golf. But here's the thing: I'm convinced I'm going to be great at it, and I'm sincere about that. I have a feeling I'm going to be incredible at golf.
Well, I am so in on this idea. I think this might be the greatest idea in the history of DNVR.
You know what the greatest thing is that Adam has been golfing before, so he knows that he's not amazing at it. But he's since then he's played a bunch of WGT and has convinced himself that the skills are the same.
I do. I have convinced myself.
When was the last time you played actual golf?
Well, it was not that long ago, maybe 5 months. I don't know. The time is irrelevant.
How'd it go?
was last fall.
How did that turn out?
I had snowmen's on like the first 7 holes, so it took me a while to get
So
used
that's a
to it,
56 through 7.
But after that, I was starting to get pretty good. I was starting to not be too bad. Putting is tough, but everything else I'm
boy.
pretty right
Yeah,
on the money. So
Putting's the most important part of the game. That might be your first lesson.
guys,
Yeah.
it's only been one time out. I've got a lot of room to grow here. So, do you golf, Christian?
No, I tried right after I was done playing high school sports. I was like, I should learn how to do this. I can't do it. I'm not good. I can't hit a drive. I don't have the fine motor skills to do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
That is pretty analogous to how I feel. I'm not saying I'm going to join the PGA. I'm just saying that I have a feeling I'm going to be exceptional at it. So we'll film it and we'll find out.
Just the senior tour, probably.
Which Nugget is the best golfer?
There's a clear answer. It's Paul Millsap, who's like a spokesperson for the PGA Tour.
All right. Paul, what I love about Millsap is he does put on the full golf uniform when he goes. We were joking about the visor and the polo, but Paul Millsap totally does the high plaid socks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He does the whole thing.
The fact that he has Instagrammed a lot, in past summers on the golf course, I'm convinced he's a decent golfer.
Yeah, I could see. I think he's good at everything.
His post-game interviews are like a golfer's post-match interviews. He doesn't get too high too low. He's like, tough conditions today. We did our best.
Fear not, Mitchie5280. We are going to talk about Jokic's body a lot and uncomfortably so. Again, every time we can talk about his body.
If there's one thing we're going to do on the show, it's that.
If there's one thing every show we will talk about, it's Jokic's incredible body. And we're actually going to start there. Maybe not right there, but on Friday, almost immediately after we finished recording this show on Friday, we got to talk to Jamal Murray. And it was great to see him and hear from him. About a variety of topics, but it was actually a really interesting interview, I thought, overall, Harrison, because he, in addition to giving thoughtful answers throughout and spending, 15, 20 minutes talking to everybody, at the end, he flipped the script and asked for all of the media to sort of share instances when they have experienced racism personally or even just witnessed racism or anything like that. And it was kind of interesting because in addition to just sort of flipping the script, first of all, you have to know that Jamal never does this stuff. Jamal doesn't like talking to the media, as almost no players do. And he's never extended a conversation with the media beyond the very tight window that he has to. So as soon as it's over, it's over. And this one, he sort of opened up a dialogue. And I thought it was interesting because it really felt to me, and you can give your perspective, Harrison, it felt to me like that's all he was trying to do. Start a dialogue, put people in an uncomfortable spot because that's the moment in time we're in. We're in a moment for uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah, totally. That was a fascinating end to that Zoom call because I thought that the main thing to come out of that was definitely going to be that Jokic has a 4-pack. And that
right.
Jamal and the Nuggets think they're winning a championship this season. But, what happened at the end totally stole the show. And, yeah, you're exactly right how that happened. After all the media were done asking questions, the call was about to end, and he said, hold on, I have a question for the media, and asked all of us if we've ever been victims of racism. And sure enough, there were African-American reporters on the call, people of all different backgrounds and ethnicities and races, and it was a productive discussion, I thought. And it's the exact type of discussion that we've got to have in society right now to move past some of these issues and get to a better spot. It's the exact type of uncomfortable conversations we need to have. And the fact that Jamal made the initiative to have it, I thought it was a tremendous moment. I thought it was honestly probably one of his defining moments as a Denver Nugget.
What did you? Vote. That's kind of strong. What did you? We're talking about Jamal Murray's comments here. Are you good to go, or do I need to skip over you?
Yep.
Perfect. Christian, you can tell us a little bit about in New Orleans, sort of how things have gone. What have conversations been like for you between front office, coaching staff, and players? Have you had that access so far? And if so, what kind of things are the players and coaches saying?
Yeah, it's really interesting. The New Orleans front office is, really diverse. I think Swin Cash I believe she's the highest ranking, female executive in all of the NBA. She's been pretty vocal throughout all of this. The number 2 in the Pelicans front office, Trasia Langston, is mixed race. there are just a lot of diverse voices in the front office, and I think the Pelicans just encourage their players to use their voice. I mean, just the thing that's been interesting to me is, apart from the 3 years I lived in Denver, I've lived in the South my entire life. I've lived in Texas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and now Louisiana. I know a lot of people. I'm friends with a lot of people who would just say, the best government is small government. I just know a lot of conservative people, and I see so many people like saying on social media and participating in these protests, like they're just viewing this as just a human rights issue, which it is. I mean, people from all across the spectrum, which I think is really cool. It just is a human rights issue.
Yeah, it feels like it has sort of penetrated into the different bubbles, the various bubbles, unlike maybe anything else has. These conversations have in a while. How many sort of interactions have you talked to any of the players? Have there been like formal meetings between players and media or anything like that on this topic? I know when we talked to Jamal, he had mentioned that the Nuggets had not yet sort of sat down as a team, but he thinks that they will, which I found kind of interesting.
Yeah, the Pelicans haven't really made anyone available. I've just seen a couple guys, shouting it out on social media. But I think, they've done a really good job. Griff and Alvin Gentry did a roundtable with Ernie Johnson on TNT. And, I think Griff's main message was we should just listen to black people. Like, if you're a white person, like we all are, I mean, I think now is a really good time to just hear and read and consume, as many opinions and viewpoints from black people as you can right now.
I'm going to move on now to the other sort of takeaway, the big one you referenced earlier. We talked earlier in the last week about how Tim Conley had mentioned Jokic being in incredible shape, and he kind of hyped him up. And I'll be honest with you guys. I couldn't tell if he was joking, if there was a little bit of tongue-in-cheek, like, oh, yeah, he's in great shape. Oh, he's got abs. I saw him, whatever. But then Jamal, and I still don't know if these people are joking. I can't tell if Jamal Murray's joking about it, to be honest with you.
I kind of think they are.
I kind of feel like they're all playing a prank on us, right? Like, it kind of almost feels that way. But Jamal Murray went on to say that Jokic has a 4-pack, and that he's moving so well that it's almost weird to watch him. I can't remember the exact quote, but it's something to the effect of, like, yeah, he's just moving around so well, and all the fat is just completely off him. So, I'll start with you, Vote. Are you buying this?
So as always, I think the answer lies somewhere in the middle. I'm buying that he's in great basketball shape. All things considered,
he's in great off-season shape. Yeah,
sure, yeah. But I mean, these abs could be some pretty. Abs could be carrying a lot of weight, linguistically.
Is 4-pack carrying even more weight? Like, first of all, 4 is an interesting number for a pack.
Yeah.
Like, usually it's a 6-pack.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Well, the bottom 2 are really hard to
Those
get.
are really tough. Those are really
maybe
tough
we're seeing some ribs, but I do think he's. It sounds like we alluded to earlier. He's staying disciplined, which is what's encouraging.
Are you buying this, Eric?
100%. I'm all in. Absolutely. Like I'm making the shirts. I'm making Beachbody Bum Jokic shirts.
6-pack yoke. Oh, we need a
4-pack yoke.
You're right. Oh.
4-pack.
Can it just be
absolutely.
that like head in a hole thing? But
yes,
it's like
yes. I'm gonna make I'm going to make just the Jokic's body is going to go down a long shirt that will go down to your knees, and it'll have a 4-pack, and then just like an obvious bulge right afterwards. But it's going to listen.
It be him and Marlo playing volleyball on the beach, like in the sun.
My God. So what you're telling me is I just need to transcribe my dreams and then turn them into a shirt. I'll do it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, man. Like, we all buy Jokic sort of like turning a corner and like becoming this more motivated person, but especially with regards to his body. But I don't know. There's something about this whole story that I'm like, man, I feel like they're all just laughing at us behind the scenes. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm here for it. I'm completely buying it.
Totally.
The quote from Murray was, "Joker got a little 4-pack. It's kind of weird to see him like this, where he's more athletic. He's moving a lot better."
Yes. I love that's a quote describing one of the 10 best players in the NBA. Like, it's weird to see him moving around like an athlete.
Christian, is there any world where this is a negative thing? Jokic's been so dominant as a heavy guy. Like, is there any way that this is like not great for Jokic?
Oh, I'm 100% in on this. I expect him to come back looking like Baywatch David Hasselhoff or something like that. Just 30, 20, 10s every single playoff game.
Murray also said he looks like what he did during Jamal's second year. Remember how skinny Jokic was back
Yes.
then? I could definitely see that guy having a 4-pack. That's not that far off.
And that guy is a little bit quicker than we remember, right?
Yeah, but he
He's
got
not
pushed around a
fast,
little.
but-
He got pushed around a lot too.
Well, but that's the thing is you hopefully have a little bit more muscle. You have a little bit more base to you.
It's true
Because
there,
I was watching back, and you remember the 40-point game against Kristaps in the Garden, right?
Oh, yeah.
He had like 3 dunks in that game, and he had a bunch of like shot fake spin blow by for a dunk, and it's like. Yeah, he never does that anymore. It'd be great if somehow that was back in the arsenal. He's like shot faking from the 3-point line.
He
and
was
dunking.
just so much more light on his feet back then, I think is how I put it, than he is right now.
Yeah, but it's funny. Like with Jokic, we went from he's too small to be a traditional 5 to he's too fat to be NBA, and there was like no. So hopefully we get like that in between stage where it's like he can't be moved at
what
will
are we
out of the
talking about
paint.
here, guys? He went 25, 12, and 8 in the playoffs last year as a heavy set guy. Like
He's
I
never
know.
been.
Are
He's
we-
never been too fat. Maybe he's been too fat for an October 30th game
Right, yeah,
on a
sure.
Tuesday
I
night
think
against the
that's accurate.
Pistons.
He's maybe
But
been
he's
too heavy
never
for
been
me
too
today.
fat. He's never been too heavy before.
Well, Zion and Jokic don't have a lot in common, but the one thing they do is they both got body shamed this year.
Yeah, we can
So
bond
body
over this. We can bond over this for sure.
Great quote from Nemanja. Everybody, check us out on YouTube. Be sure to like and comment over there. We're making that our emphasis here. No, but I do wonder about, like, I sit here and I think this. We talk about this all the time. Jokic is doing all this without the great body. If he really did just make himself a little bit more athletic, and we saw that, first of all, from October 1st to March 11th, we saw a transformation in Jokic's body, and we saw it impact the way he played. What if we get even more of that? I mean, we really might be in, I'm starting the hype train here. Are we really in for the best Jokic yet?
Man.
Yes, of course we are.
All right,
yes,
well-
he gets better every time we see him in pressure situations. He gets better.
We
and better
should be.
and better.
We should be. He should be entering the prime of his career. And I feel like we could be, for sure.
It's tough. The hiatus throws a wrinkle in that, right? Because if everything's running as planned, you have to say, yes, he gets better every year. When the playoffs start, he's going to destroy. But of course, obviously, this is a wrench in that sort of projection.
Let's talk about somebody else's body too.
Yeah, I was
Let's
gonna
talk
say,
about
have
Michael
we-
Malone's body.
Oh,
what do you
God.
think?
Yeah, now that is weird when you talk about somebody not.
The important thing to remember about Jokic is that he's never been bad. So it just doesn't
No.
matter.
It's
degrees
true.
of greatness.
Christian, what have you heard anything about Zion? I mean, Zion's another guy. If we're talking about Muscle Watch, it's funny because Muscle Watch is the big thing in the summer, right? Muscle Watch 2020. Muscle Watch 2020 this year is just for this quarantine. Have you? What's the Muscle Watch status in New Orleans right now?
I've heard he actually looks a little more trim than he did at the end of those
Ooh.
19 games, but I don't know, man. I mean, basketball shape is a whole different thing. I mean, you could be a few pounds lighter, but that doesn't mean you're any more ready, I don't think, to play 5-on-5. Zion's just like last 9 months are just so weird. I mean, he was out for 3 months. He
Yeah.
played 1.5 months of games, and he's just been chilling in his house ever since.
Yeah.
And that weight gain seems to just be like a natural thing. Like when a dude that big, right, can't be moving, can't be working out every day. Like he's got Paul Bunyan disorder, he just keeps growing.
Yeah,
I'm
I feel
gonna
like he
feel
could like be bench pressing his entire house if he wanted to.
I'm going to feel so bad for the guys who get to Disney World and are just visibly out of shape because they're going to get absolutely killed. They're going to get killed, and I'm going to feel bad because, like...
Well, you're going to hear him panting on the broadcast. Like, there's going to be no other noise.
Let's make a bet. Who comes back out of shape?
Joel,
James Harden.
James?
No,
No,
James
James Harden is
Harden's
like
shape. He's,
crazy
like,
skinny right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
R.I.P. post defense.
Give us in
though.
the comments. Tell us who's coming in out of shape other than a Joel Embiid. All right, Harrison, take us away to our first break. When we get back, we're going to talk some Pelicans. The NBA rigged it for the Pelicans. Or did they?
Stay tuned. I'm going to crack one of these babies.
Mile High Copper.
Mile High City Copper Lager, the beer of the 8 seeding games and playoffs.
Oh, sweet baby.
It's the official slogan. I
Yeah,
think.
the beer of the 8 seeding games. Pick it up at Davidson's. You can get it pickup or delivery there. You can also get it at Breck Brew, all your liquor stores as well. Also, I believe we have a WGT tournament this weekend.
We do.
Do we have a name? Or
I don't think we have a name. We have to think of one. Help us think of one.
Yeah,
Father's
we'll call it like
Day,
the
we're playing the
the
famous holes. We need something famous fathers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, name pending on the WGT event this weekend. If you want to get involved, if you haven't already, download WGT from DNVRgolf.com and join the DNVR2 clubhouse. If you didn't get in the main clubhouse, just search for the DNVR2 clubhouse on WGT. That's how you can get in the tournament this weekend. So that should be a fun time. I will not be wearing this shirt.
Blazers.
I will not be wearing this shirt.
Well, so you can
Or maybe I
guarantee
will.
that Harrison will be out of the top 10 if he's not wearing that bad boy.
I like to imagine that Harrison vapes too when he's playing the golf game on his phone. He just has.
Dirty and natty
These are some
light.
erroneous accusations.
Can I take one moment in time to call out Buckets, who said that they shouldn't take my gambling advice when I said that we should all bet on Amanda Nunez, who won
I
$10 gets you
cleaned up on
$50.
Amanda Nunes.
That is-
I cleaned up.
Just so everybody knows, in my entire DraftKings life now, I am now 10-1 on my bets. 10-1.
Wow.
That's right.
That's actually really good. We need you to start doing this. So you just
I know.
volunteered yourself
Yeah,
to pick
you're
a
on
week,
the
so,
you're on the bet of the week the pick of the week this week.
Oh,
Eric.
snaps. All right. Well, I
I
should have
like it.
shut
Look
my
at
stupid
this.
mouth.
Come on, Chris.
This pod determines which futures bet I place. I love it. That's exactly how it
Like
should
the awareness
be,
to
as it
put
should
laughing
be.
my ass off there.
That's so funny. All right, guys. All right, Christian. So the Pelicans, we're going to give Pelicans center stage. We want to go through over the next couple weeks. We want to have people on covering all of the teams vying for playoff position for that 8 seed. The Pelicans are the most interesting team. I'm saying it right now. I think they're the most interesting team in the seeding round. You push back quite a bit. In fact, wrote a column on this, that the NBA didn't necessarily just like do this just for the Pelicans. There's like the easy narrative out there that it's like, oh, the NBA rolled out the red carpet for the Pelicans. You seem to think that's not necessarily the case. Defend your absurd homeristic position.
Yeah, I've been in New Orleans like 5 months and I'm a huge homer now. The whole point of like the thing I wrote over the weekend was the Pelicans' path to getting the 8 seed is more difficult now than what it would have been if they just played the season out. I mean, if they played it out, they had the easiest schedule in the NBA. I think 15 of their final 18 were against teams with losing records. They'd taken all their injury lumps. They were finally healthy. The teams they were in contention with were largely banged up too. Memphis, Portland didn't have Nurkic and all that. All those teams have since gotten healthy. And now basically they got 8 games of runway to try to catch up with Memphis. That's not going to happen. So they just got to pray they get the 9th seed. And I think the thing that sealed it for me was I saw that if teams are tied in number of games back, then it's going to be winning percentage instead of head-to-head tiebreakers. So like the Trailblazers and the Pelicans are tied in games back right now of the 8th seed. If they go both go 6-2, the Trailblazers will get the 9th seed instead of the Pelicans, even though the Pelicans swept the regular season series.
Yeah,
That was a really
interesting.
convincing argument.
I know. Like I'm sold
Yeah.
already. That was
All right.
really
Yeah,
Great
I don't
job.
have
That
I
was
don't have a
fun.
counter to that.
It is true though. So 8 games. Part of the reason that they did this, and it's not just the money, although it's largely that, but it was also that they wanted to create some kind of intrigue. They wanted it to be like, okay, there's something in doubt, and I think there is. I think the Pelicans can get into the playoffs, but it is tough. To your point, they're 3.5 games back, if I'm not mistaken. There's only 8 games to make up. They pretty much have to run the table to get to overcome Memphis and get the 8 seed and be the higher seed there. That was almost never going to happen in 8 games. The only way was for them to get to first of all beat off all the other challengers and then get to the it's probably a better way I could have said that. They beat off every one of them one at a time.
Are we just not doing phrasing anymore?
Well, good night. If they
Well, it was
they have
fun
to-
before we got canceled. That was fun.
to beat off all of the other challengers and get to the 9. No, if they do get to the 9 seed, then they can challenge and have to win back-to-back against Memphis, which is tough. I think winning back-to-back games against anybody in the NBA is tough. The Nuggets, if you said gun to your head, Nuggets have to get into the playoffs, they have to beat Washington twice, you'd be like, I don't feel great about that. So, to your point, I do think it's kind of tough. Do you see them doing it? Is your prediction, where do you think this is going to play out for them?
Do I see them like getting the 8th seed?
Both. Do you see them being the 9th seed to challenge them, and then do you see them winning those to get there?
Yeah, I think they got a really good shot to get the 9th. I mean, they have to win one more game to Portland, and I mean, Portland's going to be tough. I mean, they made the Western Conference Finals last year. Nurk is back. Zach Collins is back. But even if they do that, I don't know if they can beat Memphis at full strength twice in a row. They've already beat Memphis twice this year. They're probably going to have to play them once or twice in the remaining 8 games. So like we're looking at a scenario where they've already beat them twice this year, and they'll probably have to beat them 3 out of 4 times at minimum to get the 8th seed. I don't know, that's really hard to do when teams are fairly evenly matched.
I'm just be so mad.
I'm kind of on the Portland bandwagon too. I think Portland gets into the play-in game. I just think Memphis is going to be the 8th seed, and then if you have to do that play-in game, I just don't see Memphis losing 2 in a row to any of those teams. So I do think it's going to be Memphis. But the fact that you just mentioned the way the it's going to be winning percentage or whatever, I do think it's going to be Portland that beats New Orleans. So I find that interesting. Let me ask you this. Brandon Ingram has had health issues in the past with the blood clotting. Has there been any sort of conversation about him maybe not participating? I mean, to me, he seems like a guy that would be at a little bit more of an elevated risk. Have you heard anything on that front?
As far as I know, I mean, he's a full go. I think all the Pelicans young guys are chomping at the bit. I think maybe some of the older guys are looking at this like, we got to come back, do a second training camp. We got to quarantine, be away from our family at weeks, and our whole prize is playing the Lakers in the first round.
Right.
So, like,
wow,
I saw
putting LaMarcus Aldridge on blast right now. Putting him on blast.
Well, like I saw Derek Favors did the Pelicans podcast a couple weeks ago. He's like, "Yeah, I started working out 2 weeks ago. I thought the season was done, man."
Wow. Nice admission, though. I like that he's honest. JJ Redick, what about? I mean, he's another guy that, he's at that point now where his days are sort of like numbered, right? He's at the very end of his career, the twilight of his career. So having to do what you said, a whole other training camp, that might take a year or 2 off of his career, and that could be millions of dollars.
JJ Redick's got to keep the playoff streak going right now.
That's
What's it
true.
Hasn't he always made the playoffs?
Every year of his basketball
13 for
career.
13. Yeah, that was like the whole preseason talking point. Was the first time him and Zion talked. JJ was giving him all these pointers, and then he turned to him real serious. He was like, "Hey, man, don't screw this up for me."
So I really wonder if this whole thing is rigging it for JJ Redick's playoff.
Yeah, they probably.
I
think
that might be
that's the number one priority of the NBA is making sure JJ Redick's playoff streak stays intact.
Do you think this is like one of the questions everybody's talking about? But do you think this year's champion will have an asterisk or should have an asterisk next to them?
I mean, everybody's been saying it, but I think it's true. It depends on who wins. If the Lakers win, then it's going to be like the greatest championship ever. And
the badge of honor.
yeah,
I can't believe how
They might get a
infuriated
patch
I
on the
already am.
front right here.
Oh my god.
the funniest outcome would be if the Rockets win. Like the Rockets win the quarantine championship.
Oh, man.
Oh,
that'd
you're
be the
so
funniest
right.
But yeah, you're right.
The rest of the league should contest it too.
That would be great. Especially like the Rockets seem miserable even from an owner. Like I think Fertitta's ready to break up.
They are miserable.
For financial reasons. He's like, I have an expensive GM and coach and players. I just want to tank
Yeah,
for
and
a while. I miss tanking.
Yeah. They're like we angered the entire nation of China. We don't deserve this asterisk. Like it's been a rough season for the old Rockets.
Are people excited? I mean, what is with the team? I mean, one of the reasons you want a young team to get into the playoffs is because you want them to get playoff experience. Whether they get in or not, they're going to be playing do or die basketball. They're going to be on the big stage. Is that good enough, or is it sort of important for those young guys to get into an actual playoff, in your opinion?
I mean, I think if they just play meaningful games, then at least the folks in the front office will be happy, and that's what these 8 games are going to be. I don't know. I think there's a lot of parallels between the Pelicans this year and that first season I was covering the Nuggets when not a lot of people were coming out for the games, but it got better as the season wore on. I think 2 years from now it'll be a lot like Denver, where the attendance is really good and it's starting to become a thing in the city. But yeah, I mean, right now it's still kind of just the diehards paying attention. It's getting a little bit better, but
Are there diehard Pelican fans?
There's like 7 of them.
Were they formerly Hornets? They had to be Hornets fans before, right? And then they just turned into Pelicans fans.
Yeah, there have been some people who've followed them since the Hornets days, but it's weird, man. It's just such a football town.
I went to one New Orleans game in Smoothie King Arena, believe it or not. I never told you guys this story. Do you know who I saw when I was there? The guy who plays Marlo from The Wire.
Wow.
Yeah,
Marlo's
I was gonna guess Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. It was anyway. All right, well, let's take another break in here, Harrison. On the other end, let's play one of my favorite games we've ever come up with. At least I hope it's going to be one of my favorite games we've ever.
Oh, it's going
come
to
up with.
be a real whiz bang. Let's
I feel
do
like
it.
it's a can't miss.
A real one.
How spicy?
It could probably
break
miss.
the spice. So take us to break, Harrison. When we get back, we'll have some fun.
All right, guys. Green Mountain Dental Group in Lakewood. They're the best. Oh, excuse me. They're the best damn family-owned dentist in the metro area, and they're extreme Colorado sports fans, just like all of us. If you schedule a cleaning, X-ray,
I'll
and
only go there if
exam,
I can get a free Sonicare. Is that the deal?
Yeah,
Change
that's
your
my
life.
deal.
That's got to have that.
Change your life.
you can get that free Sonicare when you schedule a cleaning, X-ray, and exam.
Wow.
They're located just 15 minutes from downtown Denver, a longtime DNVR partner. And remember, get a cleaning, X-ray, and exam at Green Mountain Dental Group. You will receive a free Sonicare toothbrush today. Also, that could come in handy after a cup of Strava Craft coffee, which you can get for 20% off when you use the
Man is a
code
legend.
DNVR20, StravaCraftCoffee.com. It's packed with CBD. It can help out with long-term migraines, back pain, arthritis, pretty much whatever ailing you these days. So
I had
20%
some Strava
off Strava Craft Coffee with the promo code DNVR20.
You know what,
All right.
Nemanja? It's the same amount of breaks every show. It's been the same every night.
Another break? Jeez, two breaks in an hour. All right, the game. I feel like
Much
we need
left
like a
now.
trumpet to like.
That was good. That's fine.
That was- yeah.
That worked
Can you
perfect.
that guy where that trumpet? There it is. Look at that. Rate the spice. Wow, what a beautiful graphic. D-line
What a
Pro.
great graphic.
Yeah, that
Wow,
is a
thank
great
you.
graph. You know what? We'll give you a little pause here.
Yeah.
All right, you take center stage here, Christian. We want to know your thoughts here. We have on a scale of 1 to 5. You can just tell us how many chili peppers it is. Number 1, Zion will be a top 5 player in the seeding round in the whole NBA. Top 5.
Seating.
Seed is do or die.
That's
They're one of the few teams that actually it is do or die.
Don't forget that the seeds are the spiciest part of the pepper.
You mean out of all 22 teams, right?
Out of all 22 teams, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty spicy. I think that's
Ooh.
I'm gonna say 3.5 peppers.
Well, it has to be
yeah,
whole
it's gotta be
peppers.
a whole
I only had enough time to make whole
Okay, all
peppers.
right, I'm gonna go 4 peppers.
How many?
4 peppers?
Four peppers.
That's really spicy.
Muy caliente.
Wow, okay.
Didn't have enough time.
Four peppers.
I'd agree. That's pretty damn spicy.
All right. Hold on a second, guys. LeBron, Giannis, they're not going to be one of the top 5 because they might rest. They might not need to. They have nothing to play for. They're already locked up the number 1 seed for the most part. So we already throw those 2 guys out. Kevin Durant's not in here. Steph Curry's not in here. It's possible, even if you go to like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, if the Nuggets stumble a little bit, they might be able to rest a game or 2. A lot of top players are just going to maybe not be given there. I am saying that it is not spicy. It's 1 pepper. I think that this
One
is not spicy.
pepper?
I think it's a single pepper. It's mild.
Mild?
I think Zion might be one of the 5
Unbelievable.
best players in the NBA during the seeding round.
Wow.
Is he going to have a minutes restriction?
That's a great question. I mean, he's full go before. I expect he'll still be a full go unless he sat on the couch and just ate for the entire
Yeah,
3 months.
how can you have a minutes restriction when it's like
If
you're
you
at the
find out he
very end
does,
here?
Well, it is every
Before
other.
you report it, can you let us know so we can adjust our business accordingly?
I think, I'm going to say, I think he could play like 30-plus minutes a night, and if he does that, just think about the numbers. His per 36 are insane. I think he could put up some crazy numbers. All right.
I still think it's muy caliente.
Muy
personally.
caliente, all right. Number 2, MPJ will be the 3rd leading scorer on the Denver Nuggets.
You're asking me this? You guys are the Nuggets writers.
Hey, come on.
Okay.
Jason, you're our
Well,
guy.
We just need you to
Oh,
rate the
so
spice.
long.
Come on.
This isn't the most scientifically
It's right in the
accurate
middle.
scale.
It's right in the middle. I'll say 3 peppers.
A 3 pepper. Okay.
Yeah.
Harrison, is 3 peppers accurate for MPJ being the 3rd leading scorer? He barely played.
Yeah, this is a 5-pepper take.
That's an Ed Fuego. Yeah, that's an Ed Fuego.
This is so spicy.
Are you, Christian, are you really high on MPJ scoring that? And first of all, are you that high on him playing that many minutes?
Well, first off, are you high, Curtis?
I am off one truly. Hey, that's what
Monday night,
it was
baby.
one
Muy
truly.
caliente.
Yeah, you're right. I guess he just doesn't play. That's tough to score when you're on the bench.
It is true. It is true.
I love when Christian undermines his own point. That's my favorite.
Maybe if the Nuggets clinch their space and like their matchup, they can rest some guys and just let MPJ go off.
But he's only got to do it for 8 games too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you need like 3 big games.
The thing that we're kind of talking around is that this 8 games almost represents like a new season, right? It's like
it is. Yeah.
He's like almost not a rookie anymore. So he's like coming back as like not like he's a grizzled vet. So
You know what?
I can see him like
question: is MPJ going to be one of the 5 best players in the NBA?
that's a 1. That's a 1. Mild at best.
Let's get crazier. All right, next one up in vote. You can sort of audit Christian on this one. The San Antonio Spurs will go 0-8 in seeding round.
Jesus.
LaMarcus Aldridge, breaking news. LaMarcus Aldridge is not going to be playing. He had surgery like a month ago. Nobody knew.
And
Somehow the Spurs
breaking-
didn't let anybody know.
And
And
DeRozan
Adam-
is going to be playing, so double whammy
Yeah.
for the Spurs.
And Adam had already decided they were going to go 0-8 before this LaMarcus Aldridge news.
That's 4 peppers. How dare you?
Ooh,
How dare you
muy
insult
caliente.
Jakob Portal? All right? Don't spit in. Don't besmirch Jakob Portal's good name.
I think that's pretty muy caliente. Lose all 8? I mean, come on.
I think
Yeah,
I'm kind of with Adam. I think this could be like
Oh,
1 or
God.
2. Are they even going to have Popovich for this thing? Is he going to be coaching?
They got Becky Hammond. Come on. 0-8? That's like an 8-game slide in the NBA.
It's
is-
on the
Nuggets
table, though.
twice. That's too much.
Dude, watch. They lose their first 4. Then, I mean, they're just playing like, I don't even know who's on the end of their bench these days, but those guys, that's who they're playing these last 4 games.
If
Chemezi Metu.
if they didn't think they were going to win the title last year, they definitely don't think they're going to win the title this
Well, that doesn't
year.
mean they can't win a single
no,
game.
but it's still 4 peppers.
You know
4
what
peppers
energy
seems
San Antonio is taking to this 8-game seeding round? The same energy they finished the 7th game of that series last year with. That
foul. I mean,
that final, like, no, we don't want it.
we could.
How about this? How hot is this take? Lonnie Walker is 3rd on the Spurs in scoring.
Who are the Spurs players again?
Well, just for some, it's kind of like the MPJ question because he was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9, 10th
You guys are
in scoring on the regular season.
wow, guys, look at this one. You're gonna be shocked. Matt Moore said the Spurs will make the
Yeah.
playoffs.
So I'd like to put money on Adam's take now. Actually,
So I say they're gonna go 0-8. Matt says they're gonna just like leapfrog 5 teams to the playoffs. So, you know what? He could be right. Without LaMarcus Aldridge, no way. Here's another one for you, Christian. All of the star players, all of the main star players in the NBA.
The Spurs are definitely going to beat the Nuggets in game 1.
yeah, that's a great point. That last comment is
I'm gonna send them to
100%.
the 6th. All of the star players.
That's a great comment.
Yeah, if they do, then you guys have to eat 5 spicy peppers to see it.
We should make some kind of thing like that.
I have one, Adam.
Go for
Unless
it.
you have a really good one you're excited for.
Well, I have a bunch. We're gonna do this for a while. It's fun.
Okay.
Go for it.
The Portland Trailblazers will not be in the play-in game,
That's-
and it won't be close. The Portland Trailblazers will be 500 or worse.
The guy says that's 1 pepper. Apparently, producer guy.
Portland's schedule is actually super weird. They play a lot more Eastern Conference teams than the other West teams do.
Does anyone feel like Portland is sitting at home like, let's go do this?
Yes,
Yes.
I totally do.
Absolutely, they do.
Dame Lillard wants this.
Oh, yes.
Gotta feel like
Nurkic wants
Nurkic.
this. Absolutely, they went to the Western Conference Finals last year. You think we're
I
going
think
to
Yeah.
force the
Portland wants
playoffs?
it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's more discouraging than encouraging.
Nurk wants to tell some people to have a good summer.
Dude, if they make the playoffs, it's going to infuriate me. Like I want to send them a "Have a nice summer" message worse than anything in this world. And if they make it and like somehow squeak through, I just can't. I'll quit basketball.
Have you already made the graphic, Eric? Is it already ready to
Oh,
go?
are you kidding me? Like that's all I've been thinking. That's literally all I've been thinking about. And I
He's
couldn't
already
use it
made
last
the
year.
shirt.
Ugh, makes me crazy.
Nurkic is 100% going to be out of shape. He never got in shape. He wasn't allowed to play, and then the season stopped playing.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good comment there from Peter. I don't know. Portland doesn't scare me too much.
I said all of the All-Stars, the main All-Stars in the NBA, are going to be in great shape.
One. That's not a hot take at all.
Really?
I feel like everybody's going to be in, like, maybe not great basketball shape, but just really good overall physical shape. These guys haven't been doing anything for 3 months. Like,
Counterpoint.
They don't know anything other than to work out.
Counterpoint. Joel Embiid.
Oh, had you considered that?
Okay.
He's going to come, dude.
uh,
Everybody is literally going. I mean, there's so much time now.
Did you guys see that picture of Harden?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
It was, like, very jarring. It was actually jarring. It was so crazy.
Yeah, he looks like he's like 205 right now.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, Embiid is the one. Embiid is the one for sure. I'd be very nervous about Embiid, but everybody else I think is going to be fine.
All right, you have to answer this one, Christian. The quality of basketball will be average. It's going to be average.
Oh, 2 peppers.
Oh, I like it. That's not too spicy. All right, medium.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you think it'll be okay? You don't think, because some people are like, the basketball's going to be terrible. It's going to be unwatchable.
Yeah, I've heard some people say like, this is gonna be like the '99 lockout over again, and I don't think it's gonna be like that. Like guys are so much more like on working out and like maintaining their diet now. I feel like we've come a long way in 20 years, and they know too. Like these are all really important games.
Yeah.
If another person compares this to the 99 lockout, I am going to walk off my balcony. I'm just so over that.
My favorite thing on the show, running thing, is when Harrison gets pissed.
Yeah,
it's like makes me so happy.
Usually you're the reason, so that's that stands to that
Not
actually
tonight,
follows.
anybody. Not tonight. All right, we got another one here, another spicy take. Guys, in the comments, by the way, if you have a spicy question, send it to us. We'll
Spice it up,
on the
baby.
show.
Spice it up.
LeBron will average 30 minutes per game or less in the seeding round.
I don't think that's hot at all. One.
One
they're
pepper, okay.
They're good, man. Yeah, they're good. I think LeBron's like at least sitting 2 of those games.
Yeah.
So if the Lakers just start 2-0, they've clinched the first seed maybe based on what the Clippers have done and what the Nuggets have done. It's like they could just do that and they'd be good.
LeBron, they have it so well. By the way, we reported last week that it was going to be a PEDs welcomed event. And that's no longer the case. The NBA has clarified they're not testing for recreational drugs.
You guys know what that means? There are going to be so many weed gummies.
Yeah,
it's going to be like a weed gummy party.
Yeah.
Well, they
Mainly on
need
the
something.
viewers.
They're going to need something to compensate for the lack of family in attendance at Disney World.
Wow, that's that's 5 spice. It's not even a take; it's just a comment. That's a 5 spice comment. Look at this one here. He said that LeBron playing less than 30 minutes is spicy mayo, which I love. That's a good. We need our lowest one to
cut.
be.
I have to say, after we were talking about HGH being allowed, even though it wasn't, I was like, why am I not personally taking HGH? And I looked into it, and it turns out there's some pretty negative side effects, but I definitely considered it.
I'm not sure if you can take HGH and just sit there and like become ripped. I think.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what do you know? You don't know.
You're right. I've never tried HGH. Full admission. All right, Lonzo Ball will have more total made 3-pointers than Jamal Murray.
Man, you love this one.
I do love it.
God, why do you love that? Why do you love comparing Lonzo and
Lonzo's
Jamal so much?
incredible.
3-point shooters.
Adam loves Lonzo. You just got to deal with this, Christian.
You have to deal with it.
I mean, I like him too. I mean, Lonzo's a better 3-point shooter than Jamal now. I mean, look at the numbers from this year. I'd say like a 3.
Oh, come on, guy, what's going on? He's just gonna throw out. He's at a 3.
No, I was hot taking the better 3-point shooter than Jamal.
Oh, well.
Guy, we love having you on the show, but you have to wear shoes.
You have to wear shoes, man. You really do.
Put my feet down on my back.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, I'm
nice,
doing my
man,
best. Doing my best Cliff impression.
You're too casual. You're too casual.
He's gonna have shirt off next time. It'll be pants off. I have one from Zach Mades here. Perhaps a relation. We'll state it as a fact to see how it is. The NBA will use stuffed animals as the crowd, like they did in the KBO.
Definitely
Yes.
not. They will definitely not be doing that.
Yeah, that's a little too too
too
Korean.
It's a little yeah.
I like the idea of just having one fan. Like every team gets one fan.
I really want them to just graft a 2K crowd in the background and just like green screen it behind.
Yeah, I have no desire to see that whatsoever.
Last one here, unless we have another one of the comments. MPJ. Oh, this is a good one. MPJ will average more points in the seeding round than Brandon Ingram.
No way.
That is
That's not
incredibly spicy.
So it's a 5. That's like way too spicy.
En
There's no way.
fuego.
Inedible.
Brandon Ingram's going to be playing like 45 minutes a game in the seeding round.
Spicy. How spicy? This was the greatest game in internet game show history.
Oh,
Five-
a
five
one.
peppers.
I'd say a one.
No, that's a
I'd say
one. That's a no pepper.
Yeah.
That's a fact. It's a
That's
one
pepper. Yeah, that's pepperless.
That is pepperless. All right, we have a look at votes back. We have a guest. Our homie Jack is back to take on.
Oh,
Jack,
boy.
what's going on, buddy? Welcome back onto the show.
Oh, and he's even wearing a Steps shirt. I love it.
Oh wow! Good luck, Step shirt. So you have a great helper here in Christian Clark, who is an encyclopedia of facts.
All right.
Hopefully, some of them are about the Nuggets, but unclear.
Harrison, are you? Let's bring up your prizes just so you know we can be reminded of exactly what it is that you stand to gain here. We've got all kinds of great stuff from this is the Mile High City Copper Lager Steps, and the guy that was my cue for you to pull up the. Yep, that was a verbal cue. That's bring on up the prizes. The checks.
We'll do it
Bring
live.
up the amazing prizes. There they are.
We got a water bottle. We have some hats. We have some T-shirts. Jack,
You
are you
can't
ready
be.
to go the distance?
I hope so.
You'll look at the second hat available for winning. It's this hat right here. Not this exact hat, but it's the same model.
Just received word that hat is no longer available. No longer available to win.
Not pictured as Harrison's babe.
All right, Harrison, take us away.
All right. Just a forewarning here. This is a very DNVR Nuggets podcast centric step. So if you've been listening to the podcast, you should.
My guy Jack's always listening.
Yeah,
He's
should be
always
good.
listening.
We're about to find out.
Number one, which player of these three did not play for the Denver Nuggets? Darko Milicic, Dikembe Mutombo, Marcus Camby.
Darko.
That is correct. 1 for 1. 1 for 1.
That was tough.
Number two, what country is Michael Porter Jr. from?
Ooh.
I mean, from the U.S., right, Christian?
Nailed it.
Yeah,
He's from
okay.
Bucket Stands.
Nailed it. That is
All
correct.
right.
I love it. I love that it's like a trick question. It's like the U.S.
I know.
That's
too-
my question.
A bit too simple.
Yeah, he got it. Roll the graphic. He got it. 2 for 2. There we go.
Oh, look at this new T-shirt I allegedly are going to be making here shortly. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. I can't. What's it going to look like? Who knows?
Number three, which sponsor of this podcast, this is kind of a sad question, used to get their own air horn?
Oh, this is a sad question.
Used to.
And still can if
Wow.
they pay enough.
I mean, you got Breck Brew. I think they still do. It could be Dental.
It's not illegal for you to
It would,
answer this one
yeah.
right, Pete. I mean,
it would,
Jack,
it would
it's
be,
not illegal, man.
yeah. I was gonna say it'd be illegal for us to give this sponsor an air horn now.
No integrity.
It could. I don't know. It could Pete's.
You guys say illegal?
Oh, yeah. Illegal feet.
Oh,
He got it. 3 for 3.
still alive.
That was a while now.
We have to give away these prizes.
Why go through the rigmarole of this game at all? Then why don't you just give me
Just mail them away.
All right, number 4 here. What is the name of the Denver-themed sports bar located at the corner of Colfax and York?
Oh wow, sounds like a great
DNVR.
bar. Wow.
Wow.
He got it.
Incredible.
The DNVR bar.
That's correct.
Wow, unbelievable.
We are rolling right through these. Number 5. Which sponsor of this show provides a service that your balls will thank you for?
Manscaped.
By the way, not illegal Pete's.
Also, don't show this part of the show to your parents.
All right.
That is correct. Manscaped.
Also, not Green Mountain Dental.
All right, 5 down, 5 more to go.
Here we go. Number 6. Which center did Nikola Jokic beat out for All-NBA first team last season?
As in, like, who was on second team?
Yeah, who did he
No, you have
beat
to name
out?
every other center in the NBA.
I mean, Joel Embiid.
That is correct.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna do it again this year.
Yeah, I don't even know if you can classify what he's going to do this year as beating him out. It's not even close. Number 7. Which of these players did the Nuggets draft in the first round? Juancho Hernangomez, Will Barton III, Nikola Jokic. Which of
Juancho.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right,
That
baby.
was quick. That was quick.
Very easy.
What was it? Number
He got
15?
it. He got it.
I want the
17?
record to show Christian. Oh, he did
Yeah,
help on
Jamal at 7, Juancho 15, and Malik 19.
There you go.
All right, weird flex, but cool.
That was impressive. Number 8. What country is Giannis Antetokounmpo from?
Greece.
Man, Jack is crushing it. 8 for
Wow.
8. 8 for 8,
Wait.
baby.
I hate to be this guy, but isn't he technically from Nigeria, or is that a
Yeah,
term?
quiet. Get out of here,
No,
Christian.
he's from Greece. He's from
He's not the Nigerian freak. Beat it.
Number 9. Which player on the Nuggets has the nickname Composure?
PJ Dozier.
PJ Dozier.
Someone's a loyal listener.
9 for 9.
Official nickname that he's literally never heard and would hate if he did hear.
A question so difficult, even PJ Dozier doesn't know the answer to that one.
I think PJ Dozier would like that nickname.
I think he
would
would
like it.
too.
Oh, all right.
All right. Number 10. Number 10. Here we go.
Oh, baby.
Which player has not won a Finals MVP? I think this question is correct. I just kind of went with this one because it was on here. Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, Dwayne Wade.
Steph Curry.
Yeah, there's the right answer there.
Man.
Final answer?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
He got it. 10 for 10.
That's 10. You got 2 prizes.
Woo.
2 direct blue prizes. Now you're going for the big one here.
The cooler.
The cooler.
Chicks dig coolers.
Oh, baby.
I just got to warn you, these questions get a lot harder after 10.
Yeah.
Steep drop off here.
It's
Yeah.
a steep jump.
Starting with number 11. Who eliminated the Nuggets from the playoffs in the second round of the 1994 NBA playoffs?
I know this.
Jack was negative something years old.
-9.
Negative.
Oh,
Who eliminated the Nuggets from the playoffs in the second round of the 94 playoffs?
Christian, you got anything?
oh man, I was 1.
I know the answer. Do you guys care?
Nope.
I care, yeah. Shit, and I don't know.
Man.
I
This
know who
was
they
the year.
beat. I don't know who they lost to.
94, that was...
I'll tell you that there was 2 players that did most of the work all Malone.
Oh, Utah.
That was too easy.
That didn't even make sense.
I was kind of
just said
leaning
his
towards
name.
Utah.
Yeah, you're like, my secret clue is that it's the Utah Jazz.
I mean, okay, I was kind of leaning towards Utah because I just knew they were good. I
Yeah,
wasn't sure about it.
the first one, we got that triumphant image of Dikembe Mutombo after they beat the Sonics, and then when they lost to the GD Jazz after that.
Is that your final answer, Jack? The Utah
Yeah,
Jazz?
it was Utah.
All right, you got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. On to number 12 here. Which center did the Nuggets select with the 3rd pick in the 1998 NBA draft?
I feel
Which
like that would be Mutombo, right? Christian, you know?
Well, I know it wasn't Mutombo. Mutombo was on the
No, it
94
wasn't.
team. It's
What
got to be a bust,
center
right?
Did the Nuggets select with the 3rd pick in the 98 draft?
Oh.
Love this one. Big fan of this question.
Wait,
Just
is it?
Googled it's not Thomas Welsh.
Is it? Oh man, I don't want to tell you the wrong thing, but is it Rafe LaFrance?
Oh. Maybe I'll just go with it. Should I?
We're going to need an answer. We're going to need to lock it in.
Yeah, I'll go with Rachel French, I guess.
He got it!
Oh, Christian coming up clutch, baby.
What a clutch
Wow.
lifeline.
Wow.
Coming up clutch. All right, number 13. Man, we are moving along here.
Absolutely
Only
no help.
5.
Yeah, no more help coming. This gets tough.
Only 5 Denver Nuggets have scored 40 or more points in a playoff game. Name all 5.
Yep,
Wow.
It was fun having you here, Jack.
So
Well-
the 5 players to score 40 or more in a playoff game.
If you want to throw Christian under the bus, feel free. But thanks
Well,
for
I
hanging
mean,
out.
I know Melo and Jokic are up there.
That's 2.
I mean, it could be David Thompson. I feel like that would be a safe bet, maybe. I mean, it's not final though. I mean, maybe Dan Issel.
There's one name. I just don't know, man.
Yeah,
Unless
one
a,
of these is borderline impossible.
unless a
man.
voice speaks to
feel
you
like-
from the other side.
Kiki Vandaway might have.
I need Jeff Morton to text me right now.
So Jokic and Melo.
Bad news for you, he doesn't know how to use a phone.
Yeah, we'll go Jokic, Melo. We'll just say David Thompson.
It's 3.
Got any ideas, Christian?
I know there's someone super obscure for the 5th one. I know
That's
these
what I
guys
was
are
thinking.
just being dicks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Can confirm.
This
Welcome
is
to
the
the steps.
13th question here.
Welcome to the steps. You think we're just giving away these coolers for
We
nothing?
got the Rolls Royce of coolers on the line here.
I'll just say, okay, this is a complete shot in the dark, but Robert Pack.
Maybe. But that also made me think of Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, possibly.
But he's not obscure. I don't.
Well, we still have 2 more people.
I love the teamwork here, guys. I
We
love
need
the
a clock. We
teamwork.
got
So let's say
put the 20
Jokic,
second.
Melo, David Thompson. Who else do you want to go with?
Maybe Bobby Jones. Is that the guy? Is that his name?
That is a Nuggets
That
player's
is
name.
yeah.
Okay.
So that part's down.
Just making sure I was thinking about the right body. 'Cause I feel like he would be the obscure person you're talking about. Maybe not, though.
Okay, we're going to need some
No,
official
we'll go-
answers.
We'll go with
Official
okay,
answers here.
Melo, Jokic, Thompson. We'll go with Kiki and Dan Issel. Probably not.
Get out of here! Get
What a run.
Stay on the line, Jack. You'll have a chance. You did win 2 prizes, which is pretty good.
That
More
is
than most
good. What do you mean
people.
pretty good? That's amazing.
That's really good.
Incredible.
Give him the list. Give him the list.
Carmelo Anthony, Nikola Jokic, Alex English. My God.
English?
Both
David
both
Thompson. And is that Calvin Nat?
Calvin Nat.
Calvin
Dude, I never
Nat.
guessed that.
The 4 usual suspects and Calvin Nat. Really tough one. Smello.
Smello, yeah.
Smello.
Take that,
There it is.
Smello.
Take that, Smello. Of course, Smello, Anthony.
I can't believe I've ever used that in my hatred of Mello. Smello. Go
Christian,
for it.
not every NBA player will be back in shape, but you were like a well-trimmed athlete
Yeah.
for this show.
Nice
I'll be,
4-pack.
I'll be in shape at the bubble.
Sounds good. Everybody else, thanks so much for hanging with us today. We got a great lineup tomorrow. Sean Hyken. We're going to be talking Portland. Same stuff, but we're going to be talking Portland. Boo.
Maybe miss tomorrow's, yeah.
Sean Hyken, extremely nice. Great dude. But the Portland Trailblazers, not exactly our favorite, so we're going to have to just grin and bear it. But it'll be fun nonetheless. Everybody else, thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you tomorrow.